Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Have a stretch. Ah! Stretch it out. Stretch it out, family. I really felt like I got taken over by that stretch. Wow. Let me just get all of this set up the correct way. Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Okay. All right. Welcome. Welcome. My name is AlexandraLoves. Welcome to my page. The page's name is on Facebook is AlexandraLoves. It's easy to find. We do a breathing exercise every morning except for Sunday mornings. And the breathing exercise is called Timeout 9 Minutes of Breath and Gratitude. And I've been called to extend that into starting to connect with ancestors in spirit or um, becoming aware of those relationships that we have that we might not be interacting with. And so I decided that on Fridays that we'll do ancestral and spirit grounding prayers, invocations, information, before we do our 9 minutes of breath and gratitude. Hi, Sam. How's it going? Morning. So this Friday will be the first time that we're going to be doing these ancestral and spiritual grounding prayers. We're going to start light. Okay, we're gonna start light for those of us who are still joining us. Oh, I didn't share to my actual page. Sorry. um, Again, for those of you just joining me, we do a breathing exercise every day on this page except for Sundays. I take Sundays off, and and on Fridays I decided to add a grounding, uh, to add grounding prayers for ancestors and spirit, and we're gonna start light. So, for those joining me, right now is a good time to just start breathing deeply, turning off your other distractions. If you have self judgment or outward judgment, just let that go. And I want you to start connecting with the idea of who you really are. You can go ahead and close your eyes at this point. If you have roommates that are like, "What are you doing?" Just invite them to come sit with you. If you have kids who are like, "What are you doing?" Have them come sit with you. Say, "Let's just listen. We'll only be here for like less than 20 minutes. Just gonna chill out. I'm just gonna chill out and listen to this. Absorb what is being said here." I want you to think about who you really are. Some of us have a deep understanding of that. Some of us have uh, not as deep of an understanding of that. So, and many of us, if you're paying attention and if you're doing anti-racist work, if you are doing deep self-care, if you are paying attention and taking responsibility for whatever role you have in this world that we're recreating right now, your identity is being challenged right now. And there's a good thing in that because it means that whatever identity you're holding on to that may not have been fully serving you for where we're going in this new world, is fracturing and it's breaking apart. And that gives you room to grow. That gives who you really are, your spirit, room. And so as you're breathing, hi, Miss Bates. Welcome, welcome. So as you're breathing, and again, we'll get into the deeper breathing exercise later. Right now, I just want you to relax and receive this message. As you're breathing, allow yourself to ponder this question: who am I really? What could I be? What is my responsibility in these rebirthing times? These are not the easiest questions to answer. The answers to these questions are going to ebb and flow in your life. When you start to get grounded in the answers to these questions, and by grounded, I mean having stability, having clear foundation, but it also means flexible. You still can be flexible, doesn't mean fixed, but feeling that sense of peace and stability and embodied understanding, past understanding, just embodiment of who you are. In order to achieve that, you will find that you are more than just Alexandra, more than just Sam, more than just Raylan. You will find that you are entities all together, the ones that made you, the ones that walk with you, the ones that had wild dreams that are you, the ones that have your solutions, the ones that have your back. Now it's true, I'm talking about our ancestors. Now it's true, not all of our ancestors will walk with us. It's true, not all of our ancestors are necessarily even good to have around. But there's balance in everything, and there are ancestors that are yearning to have a relationship with you. You might be the first person in your family to even acknowledge that this relationship is important. You might be the first one in your family to even be curious about this relationship. If you follow me, you've heard me talk about ancestors a lot. So I know that if you're at least on this video, you're at least curious. Okay. And so when we're talking about building a relationship with our ancestors, working with our ancestors, there's a few things we always start with. One is forgiveness. Another one is gratitude. I'm not going to get too deeply into it, but as you're breathing, let's talk about, in this grounding today, let's talk about forgiveness. Many of us have aversion to working with our ancestors or knowing them because of things that they may have done that embarrass us, or were not okay, or embarrassing, or they're not very interesting. And in a reciprocal way, many of our ancestors might be looking at us, not totally proud of what we're doing, feeling like there are transgressions. If nobody's been feeding them or building relationships with them or saying their names, then yes, you will have ancestors that feel that way. And so first we'll start with forgiveness of, okay, so I'm getting yeses. Okay, good. So first, and I told you we'll start light. So first, just put your hands over your heart as you're breathing. And think of a few beings sitting around you, like at a round table. You don't have to necessarily see their faces, just imagine auras, if that works for you. Or you could, if you have ancestors that are popping up in your mind right now, imagine them just sitting at the table. And put your hand over your heart, and they have their hands over their heart. And as you're breathing deeply, think about forgiving, allowing a deep understanding and letting go of anything those ancestors may have done that was not okay with you, that caused trauma in your family. that affected the way we live in this world right now in a negative way, that was dark or ugly. Now, you don't have to find, full tilt forgiveness, but just the acknowledgement that you're talking to beings that once were human beings living in this world, who grew up in a certain culture, who didn't have the resources that we may now have to heal ourselves, or didn't know, or maybe we're just broken inside, whatever it is, or sick, whatever it is. You might not be able to find full forgiveness and let it go, but if you put your hand over your heart and you breathe into it and you just open, just look for that space. Look for, even if it's a little tiny space where you can forgive. Just a little tiny space where there's understanding and compassion. Where there's not as much attachment as you may have had 5 minutes ago. I see Love Atencio joining us. Thank you for being here. I love you. I love you all for being in this room with me. And now we're going to reciprocate. Because remember, our ancestors created us in their image and with their vision. And we don't always do the things that are filling our full potentials. We don't always act. Sometimes we do shameful things. And sometimes we make mistakes. And there's a whole bunch of focuses and ideas and desires that they may have for our lives that we maybe just aren't fulfilling on a day-to-day basis, and that's okay. But on behalf of yourself and your family, on behalf of everyone who didn't have these relationships with your ancestors, on behalf of everyone who brought, darkness or ugliness to your family, that made it hard for the generations after them. Now is the time to ask for forgiveness, not just for you, but also your whole family, everyone attached. And it doesn't mean that you have to have shame or judgment or guilt. Asking for forgiveness is a real intention and a positive gesture. It means something to your ancestors and to you to be asking for forgiveness for yourself and for your family. Asking for forgiveness for yourself and your family means that you care. It's showing that you're open to some sort of relationship with them. It shows that you're considering those that created you and walk with you and protect you and bring you solutions, whether you know it or not. And it's acknowledgement that they may not have been getting for a long time. And now, before we get into our 9 minutes of breath and gratitude, let's connect with our spirit who is our higher self. First, let's thank the ancestors. Thank you, ancestors, for being here. Thank you for walking with us. Thank you for protecting us and opening doors and removing obstacles. Thank you for considering us. Thank you for life, for the gifts that have been given Thank you for waking me up to my desires and for your support. And now for our spirit, who is who we really are. The best way to start connecting with that deeper who we are, that expression of who we are, that us that lives inside this avatar, this human water and meat sack. The best way is to first say your name and to call your spirit in. My name is Alexandra Lewis. My name is AlexandraLoves. I call my spirit in. I call who I really am into this body. I want full integration. I'm open to fully integrating with all that I am. I'm excited to learn and walk into my fullest potential. I am more than what I have been conditioned to believe myself to be. I am light. I am spirit. That's how you start calling in your spirit. Start with acknowledgement. It's already in you. Your spirit, you already have you are your spirit. But we don't grow up with the idea that the spirit is the commander, the leader, the driver of this life. And so we have to retrain our mind, or retrain our brains to remember that we are spirit, we are light, we are divine. We get so stuck in being human because we're in a human body and we're in a human world. But we are so much more. And so I want you in these moments, before we're about to start breathing exercise, I want you in these moments to find these words and find these phrases for yourself. You can repeat after what I'm going to say. I'm going to go over it again. You can repeat what I say, or you can find your own words. And when you wake up in the morning, you can come back and practice this with me on Fridays, right? We breathe every day, but on Fridays we'll do this kind of work. Or you can start your own, start over the week, calling your spirit. First thing when your eyes wake up, don't look at your phone. Don't turn over and start saying hi to your partner. Do this first. Call in your spirit. I'm excited to integrate with my spirit. I am open to walking in this life in my full potential. I am more than this human body. I am spirit. I am light. I am divine. Before I'm anything else, before gender and color before daughter or mother or wife or brother or uncle, I am light. I am spirit. I call in my full self. I'm open to walking this life in my purpose and my potential, spirit-led. I am the commander. I, my spirit, I am the commander of this life. And I want to say, as you're doing this, there are so many people who can do spiritual prayer who are so eloquent. I am not the most eloquent person, and I still challenge myself. I used to be sort of afraid of praying and praying in public and invoking in public because I'm not the most eloquent person. But as it turns out, it doesn't matter because I'm the commander of my life. The words that come out of me have to do everything with, and how they come out of me have everything to do with my spirit and also my human life going through this world. Sure, it's a little awkward. Sure, I stumble over my words. Sure, I don't pronounce everything correctly. But I was using that as an excuse to not practice in this way and not share with you. So as you're practicing this week, know that it might come out awkward, the things that you say to yourself when you're calling this out, when you're praying or invoking or spell making, whatever you want to call it. Know that it might be awkward. Know that it might not sound the way you want it to sound, but it doesn't make it less important. And what makes it potent is your intention behind it. So, 9 minutes of breath. We're going into our 9 minutes of breathing. You can do any breath you want for the nine next minutes. For me, what I do is, and thank you for, okay, I'm seeing the thumbs up and the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tag, like, share. I've learned to ask for reciprocation. Please comment in the comments box. Reciprocate by commenting in the comments box. You can donate if you want to donate, if that works for you. You can also share this by tagging or sharing or liking on your page with a personal message. So please, I would love that. So thank you. The type of breath I do in this 9 minutes of breath and gratitude is really simple. I'll show it to you and I'll exaggerate it so you know what I'm talking about. But you can do any breath that is helpful to you. During this breath session, I will give you reminders for gratitude and reminders to keep focusing back in. So it goes like this. At the top of the breath, you sip in a little bit more air, looking for that expansion. At the bottom of your breath, you squeeze out a little bit more air than what you're used to. And that is to encourage your body to let go of what you don't need. So it looks like this. Inhaling. And at the top of my inhale, I sip in more breath. And then at the bottom of my breath, exhaling a little more. So go ahead and start that breath. I'll start the timer. 9 minutes. That's it. You can breathe. No one is stopping you. 9 minutes of expansive breath. Thank you for joining. I see Darren and Jessica. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're just 1 minute into a 9 minute breath exercise. And as you continue to roll through these breaths, I want to tell you the reason we do it this way. That is, like I was saying before, when we were talking about ancestors and spirit, is that you are so much more than what you have been conditioned to believe, whether it's conditioning by society or religion or culture, whatever it is. You are so much more. You're so much more powerful. And we're in a time that's requiring all of us to understand that about ourselves. And anything you're looking for spiritually, anything you're looking for as far as your self-awareness and your self-esteem, you can find support for that. You can find evidence of it. You can find blueprints of it in your physical body. How we were made was not a mistake. It wasn't by chance. Our bodies are blueprints. Our spirits form our bodies. So when we get to the top of that inhale and we're asking for a little more expansion, it's a reminder that we can be more, that there is more space. There is more room for us to grow. So even if you are short of breath, even if you're new to this type of breathing, maybe you can't sip in a whole bunch of extra air at the top, but just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit means the world. Hello and welcome, JC. We're just a few minutes in here. Why do we squeeze out a little bit more air at the bottom of our exhale? Because we are conditioned to hold on to everything. And we hold on to a lot of stuff we don't need. And especially right now, when the world is dying and a new world is being birthed, especially right now, is it time to let go of what you don't need? Is it time to challenge yourself to allow new things in? As you allow the new things in, you got to make room. think think about something right now as you're exhaling. Think about something that you know you've been holding on to, that you've been scared to let go of, but maybe it'll be okay. Maybe there's some, think about that. What is something you'd like to let go of? It could be identity, it could be a relationship, it could be a behavior. What is something that you're holding on to that maybe you want to let go of? It's okay in these moments. It's safe as you're exhaling and squeezing out that little extra air. Think about that thing. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay to let go of that thing. I don't have to do it right now. It's too scary to do it right now, but maybe it's okay. Maybe there's a way for me to let go of that. Maybe I don't have to identify that way. Maybe I don't have to be so attached to defensiveness. Maybe I don't have to worry all the time. And if you're starting to get distracted, I'm going to call you right back in. Any distraction that's coming up will be here when we're done in 3 minutes. I promise, it's not going away. So come back to here. Right now, take care of yourself. Let's be grateful for this breath. You can breathe. Say it, I can breathe. No one is stopping me. I can breathe. I can expand. I can be more. I am open. I can let go of what I don't need. I don't have to cling. I don't have to be so attached. I can let it go. I can breathe. I can breathe. There is air for me. Yay. Yay. There's more. There's more. There's more for me. I can let go. I don't need that anymore. I'm okay to just take my hands off of it. That's good. And now in this last, minute and a half, think of something you're grateful for. We know we're grateful for this air, but think of something else that you are grateful for in your life. Focus on it. There's no reason to have any guilt or shame or judgment about being grateful for it. Relish in it. Relish in your blessings. Relish in your gifts. This is your time. Be selfish about how grateful you are for something in your life. Love it. Appreciate it. And as you're finishing up these last seconds of breath, remember that we are in a quickly changing world and things seem like they're accelerating. And that you were born on purpose at this time, on purpose, with everything that you are on purpose. And as you're taking action, and as you're engaging, and as you're making mistakes and learning from them, as you're connecting with people, remember to take care of yourselves. We're in this for the long haul. We are literally co-creating a brand new world right now. It's happening. You're part of it. It's necessary if you want to go to the new world, if you want to bring your community and your family. It's necessary for you to take care of yourself. You have to. You have to. That's an order. Okay. Thank you for being here. We're here every day except for Sundays. We do actually just the 9 minutes of breath and gratitude every day except for Sunday. But on Friday, I'm going to start doing this longer session talking about spirit and ancestors. Please, I do ask for reciprocation. Put comments in this video. Share or like. Share with your friends with a personal message, or you can donate. I put links in the comment box. I love you all. Check out my summer offerings. They're in the comments. I'd love to work with all of you further. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm accessible by DM. DM me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. And happy Juneteenth. Bye.